Oh, M. M&G, we're back, y'all. It's the 30th edition of Long Time, First Time Movie Reviews, where me and Brandon, we talk about movies that we've seen recently, but not recent releases. Get out of here, Jonathan Caro and Chris, who try to cheat. No cheating. We just talk older movies, at least a year and older. I'm not alone. We're actually not alone either. There's three of us starting off. But Brandon, how you doing?
I'm good. I am really good. I've had this whole week off. So you would think I watched a bunch of movies, but no. Because I've played a bunch of PlayStation. But I have watched movies.
I'm actually quite prepared this week. But are they good? We'll find out. Tato's here. Tato, you may not have watched lots of movies, but I heard you met a mama?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know exactly what you're referring to, but yeah, totally.
Big Mama's house?
Yeah. No. 8 years built up to meeting a certain person just to kill her off and say, never mind, it's actually your aunt the entire time. So welcome to the 30th edition. We got lots of movies to talk about. Brandon, what did you watch this week?
I don't know what you...
No, what? No. Dexter dies in the end of Dexter. What do you got, Brandon?
Jesus.
Oh, how
there's a new season coming out. It's obviously not true. There's a whole new season coming out.
Oh, it's your mother, of course. They killed her off at the end. That's what you're referring to. Actually, that works too. What did I
Join
watch?
us at the link down below. That's also in the comment if you want to do the whole click and paste thing. All right, I'm sorry. Now take it away, Brandon.
I don't want to yet. All right, so I've watched...
I hope you're having a fun WrestleMania weekend. There's lots of great stuff out there. If you're in Vegas, have fun. Take it away, Brennan.
Be safe with someone.
It's really important to see the indie shows, though, not just Mania. Support the indies, support the local wrestling, not just Triple H's pockets. Take it away, Brennan.
I would argue that's more important.
I won't do that again, I swear.
Are you sure? All right, for my long time this week, I decided to dip back into my favorite director of all time, Quentin Tarantino.
We did. We put your hand up on our hips. We did. I'm sorry, what?
Tarantino, my favorite director. I've seen most of his movies many times. There are a few that I haven't really spent a lot of time with, so I decided to dive back in. There's another one I might show up here. Not Reservoir Dogs. Try again.
Shit.
That one I spent a lot of time with.
Let's
see if Jordan can do it. And he is correct. I watched Little Nicky this week I decided to dive back into Jackie Brown, a movie I had seen, I don't know how long ago. Probably only watched it. This is one of the later ones I've watched. I watched Pulp Fiction when I was way too young. I watched Death Proof and everything else in high school, and I watched Kill Bill when it came out in theaters when I was probably also still too young. But this one, it took me a while because it wasn't as readily available as the other ones, so it took me a while to watch it, and I decided to rewatch it for the first time because it didn't really do much for me. And it did a lot for you this time, revisiting this movie. You always see a bunch of people saying, this is actually my favorite Tarantino movie. And you know what I say to those people? They're just trying to be cool, because I don't think that could be actually true. Because while this movie is good, people who go like, oh, it's his most underrated. It's like, yeah, it's underrated because it's not top tier, but it's like, come on. It's not, his top movie in here. Yeah, it's not one of his top movies, but I do like it a lot. I like it a lot more this time than I did the last time. Great performances from Pam Grier and Samuel L. Jackson. Great story. You got pretty interesting stuff with the multiple viewpoints of the final thing. Gets kind of confusing and some twists in there. You got it's definitely some more understated Tarantino. Not when it comes to feet. We've seen 3 so far in the trailer, but when it comes to over the top action, over the top violence and everything. People do die, but it's not as crazy as he gets. So it's a little more understated for him. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. I did think Robert De Niro is like super out of place in this movie, and I think looking at the first time as well. Kind of like every time you see him, I'm like, oh, it's Robert De Niro with a weird mustache. And then he doesn't really do anything until kind of the end. So it's kind of a waste for him. Everyone else, I think, is very, very good in this movie. So yeah, I really liked it. It doesn't sit in my top half of Tarantino movies, unfortunately. But again, in a filmography full of 5-star movies, a movie sitting at 4 stars, still does a pretty good, actually 4.5 stars I gave it according to my Letterboxd. So still gave it a very high score, just wasn't in that top tier. So 4.5 stars for Jackie Brown.
Yeah, this is one of those fun ones where I feel like it's all over the place for Tarantino fans. I'm with you that it's probably my second half, but that's still very much a weird backhanded compliment because he hasn't made a bad film yet. And this is extremely good. It's very watchable. I know some people have it even higher than us on their Tarantino rankings. Tato, how do you feel about Miss Jackie Brown?
Yeah, I love the song quite a bit. It was a first-time watch for me like a couple years ago when I kind of had to... when I first entered the trivia community, and I had to bone up on my Tarantino for that reason, for whatever your take on watching movies for trivia is. More so getting to movies I should have seen already, kind of thing. Yeah. But I really enjoy this. This is the middle of the Tarantino 9 for me. I have it at 5. Behind Dogs, Pulp, Kill Bill, and Django would be my Mount Rushmore, and that's treating Kill Bill as one movie. Anyway, but yeah, I like this more than most of his recent work, but not quite as much as the other early stuff.
Sure.
Right on. So now to my first of maybe 3. Wondering if anyone's seen it besides me. From a couple years ago, To Catch a Killer, I watched recently. This stars Shailene Woodley and Ben Mendelsohn, 2 really good actors here. And this might be legitimately maybe one of Shailene Woodley's best performances maybe ever. I think she's definitely one that brings this to that quite next level for me personally here. She's a cop who gets dragged into the new high case where there's a mass murder going around, relatively killing off kind of randomly people throughout New Year's Eve and later on. It's a very bleak movie. It doesn't really hold back. It's not, I can't really think of a fun character. Maybe there's like a third partner that has a little bit of levity to him. But it does treat this very seriously here. And I'm always a big fan of movies that can nail the landing. And I actually think they quite did here, too. The ending is actually what kind of got me over the hump from like a 3 to a little bit higher star movie for me here. Because while it does definitely take its pace and its time, I feel like it might not be for everyone. It was kind of for me. I thought it was actually a cool little dark thrill that paced out pretty decently here. So I give it 3.5 stars. I think it's still worth checking out. Brandon, ever heard of To Catch a Killer or seen it?
I watched the trailer to this yesterday.
Whoa, weird.
I loaded up Netflix. It was like, I think it's like trending on Netflix for some reason. So it like came
that's probably why I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah, it like came up and I just kind of auto played the trailer, but still I watched part of it. But that's about all I've seen.
Does it intrigue you at all?
It does. But then I found out you watched it, and I like to watch movies that you haven't seen, so I can't.
What? That's not fair. Tato, ever seen this?
Because you always have to do the same thing.
All right, what else you see this week, Brandon?
Has Tato watched anything?
No. He has not. I wasn't just giving him to be a dick. I knew off air he had it.
Okay, so from one big-time director to another big-time director, from one long time to a first time, with his new movie coming out later this year, I've decided to kind of bone up on my PTA. And I decided to go all the way back to the very, very beginning and watched Hard 8. I still have, 1, 2, 3 more to go before one battle after another, but I decided to go all the way back to where it all started in 1996's Hard 8, starring Philip Baker Hall, who's usually like a character actor, a side piece, kind of takes the lead on this one. So it was pretty interesting. You got John C. Reilly, Gwyneth Paltrow, and my double up Samuel L. Jackson this week. And this movie is great. I'm kind of iffy on Paul Thomas Anderson. It's one of those things where it's like I watch his movies and I recognize that they're good, but I recognize that they're not always for me. I'm like, this movie's really good, but I don't like it. And that's kind of what I say about a lot of things with Paul Thomas Anderson, but not this one. I actually kind of really, really, really like this one. It doesn't get, it's short. I mean, it's short in terms of, PTA. It's an hour and 42 minutes. So the movie kind of moves at a nice brisk pace here. You get all the PTA goodness, all the long shots, the pan-ins, all the artsy, all the flash is here. And it's kind of infuriating because he was 24 years old when he made this movie, which is just like unbelievable that he was able to pull something like this off. And this is just a great movie, a great kind of a slow burn thriller as well. You kind of don't know where it's going to go, and then it kind of kicks off all in the third act, like all of his movies do. You kind of just set up, spend time with these characters, learn who they are, then all hell kind of breaks loose, for lack of better terms, at the end of it. But you got some great performances here. I always love watching old PTA because you get dramatic John C. Reilly. So I always like seeing John C. Reilly in these dramatic roles. You got a young Gwyneth Paltrow. Samuel Jackson's always good. And then you get one scene of Philip Seymour Hoffman, who's pretty great and annoying in that one scene. But it was definitely nice or fun watching this and kind of seeing where Paul Thomas Anderson got kind of all his Paul Thomas Anderson-ness, for lack of a better term. And it was cool seeing this movie after seeing a lot of his big hitters. So I'm excited to dive back in to watch some of his other ones before One Battle After Another. Then maybe some long time reviews for some other stuff. So starting off here with 4 stars for Hard 8. I almost wanted, like, I saw a post, or one of the Letterboxd reviews says I almost want to take off a review because he was 24 years old when this came out, and fuck him for making such a good movie at 24 years old. But no, it adds on to the impressiveness.
Yeah, this is definitely a blind spot for me. Definitely will see it at some point because I do like most of his work. And yeah, I love this cast. I think the premise is relatively intriguing. So it's definitely something I will see sooner or later. Tato, any thoughts on Hard 8?
Hey, my favorite director also made one of his masterpieces in his early 20s, so I'll take that.
True.
And I've seen Punch Drunk Love. Does that count?
I mean, it's a PTA.
It's the only one I've seen.
All right, let's see if anyone's seen this. It's what they go call me over in college. Son of a Gun. I watched recently here. So this is about Brenton Thwaites. Is pretty young, gets sent to jail, prison rather, and while he's there, in order to kind of stay alive and stay, also not assaulted, he befriends Ewan McGregor, who I think is perfectly casted as the charming / do him wrong, he will beat the shit out of you kind of guy. So he's perfectly cast in this too, because he can walk that fine line of, like, you are charmed by him, but you also know that he might, pop a cap in you if you touch his girl. Played by Lisa Vikander too, by the way. One of, I think, of her slightly earlier appearances as well. This is directed by Julius Avery, who didn't go on to do Overlord, which is pretty cool. So I think he actually does a pretty decent job of direction here. It's one of those where I was always invested in the main character and invested in where they were going to go. I don't know, for instance, the trailer is definitely showing you the most interesting parts because it does kind of lag throughout a little bit, unfortunately here. It is an A24 flick, probably one of the more straightforward A24 flicks, though, out there. Relatively straightforward tale of this group. And so I liked the performances. I liked kind of where it went. I also, again, kind of think the ending is decent here, but the walk up to the ending is where it kind of loses me a little bit here. So it's a 3-star movie. So I doubt everyone gave it their all. Ewan McGregor, really good as well. So Son of a Gun, 3 stars. Tato, ever seen Son of a Gun?
Yeah, for your long time, first time drinking game, take a drink every time JPO says here. And Son of a Gun, I'm always intrigued by Ewan McGregor, so I might sign up for that. I have not seen
What do I say a lot? Here? I say here a lot?
You do.
He does?
Go back, check it out. It's a drinking game for Botsky.
I don't want to argue with you, Tato. Brendan, have you seen?
How do you find these movies? You look at it like that's what I'm most intrigued by. Like you look at the like all these movies have like the same type of poster. They all look like. I feel like the streaming game has.
It's exclusively for writing two truths and a lie categories.
Yeah, literally. Like if streaming didn't exist, you'd have to go to Blockbuster and be like, I haven't heard of this fucking movie. But now you just like scroll by like that poster. Like
honestly, so in this instance, I'm pretty sure after I watched The Catch a Killer, it was like one more like this. Son of a gun. What happened there? So
Catch a Killer, you son of a gun.
All right, here. What else have you seen here this week, Brendan? Here.
That is all I watched this week. Unless I
you got two.
One. 3 is so hard. 2 is easy. Long time.
I did 4 this week. I was leaving one out.
Oh. Well, I have
a tight episode.
I have a new episode of Black Mirror I can talk about.
Oh, can I talk about Daredevil?
That's not a movie.
Oh, what about? Oh, okay.
I played a video game. I beat a video game for the first time.
That's not a movie.
I did a Madden season.
That's not a movie.
That's sports. So fuck that.
Oh yeah, and sports. Yo, twice too.
That's a double no on the Jordan.
What if I watched a sports movie?
Can I guess?
Oh yeah.
Let's guess the movie.
What if
Jordan.
I write a sports movie question that's
no? You will die before you guess the next movie that I saw because it's even probably the weirdest of the 3.
Let's go.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, well, you could guess who the star of it though is.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta type it out because I
Frank Grillo.
No. He is known for action though. Even though this movie is not action, he's known for action. No.
Okay.
Taron Egerton.
No. Statham.
No, but he's a little older.
Oh, this has Liam Neeson written all over it.
I don't know. No, I don't know if he's older or younger.
Kurt Russell.
No.
Russell Crowe.
Who's in the greatest action movie of all time?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
My next movie star is Bruce Willis.
This could be anything now. Like
you're still like, I'm just gonna go ahead and just play the trailer. It's called Breakfast of Champions. Has anyone even heard of this? I've seen this.
Oh, it's not even like recent like million movies that he meant, like an older one.
Yeah, no. This is my oldest movie this week. This is a 1999 release, directed by Alan Rudolph. Has a really good cast as well there. God damn it, I got me all in my mind. Tato, with Albert Finney, Nick Nolte, Barbara Hershey, Glenn Headley, Lucas Haas, and Omar Epps, amongst others, popping up there. So he's a car salesman, and there is just a lot being thrown at you. I found out later that this was based on a book, which you could definitely tell while watching this movie, because you could just tell that they're trying to cram too much in. It's all over the place here. Albert Finney's character is on like this long journey that's never quite kind of dissolved into it. Omar Epps' character, who's kind of got hired throughout, is doing really wacky things in order to try to promote, and then later on might be homeless. You see people disappearing. It's definitely trying to throw a lot out at you at once here. The son is very weird. Not in a bad way, just, but again, never really fully developed. So I was intrigued again by like what was going on, what was happening, but even more so than the other two, it also never lands to the ending. It doesn't land quite what they want to say here. This one was just kind of a weird mixed bag here for me. So I'll say 2.5, keep it right in that middle. But if I had to pull the Ebert and Roper, I'd probably have to say thumbs down. I couldn't quite recommend this. Tato.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pass from me, dog.
Brandon.
No, I didn't even know they made an adaptation. I think I've read this in high school, the Kurt Vonnegut book. So I think we had to read this.
Yeah.
But I didn't know they made an adaptation of it.
They did, man. 1999. It's an odd, like, it's on Tubi. If you just want, Nick Nolte's a crossdresser, and it's an odd film. It's but I feel like it's more about like in the movie anyway, like the moments rather than actually explaining the moments and why the characters do it, rather than just be like, hey, this is wacky to be wacky kind of thing.
You should have led with crossdressing Nolte. I would have been in.
My bad. Well, there you go. He rocks that red dress pretty nicely. Actually, good, decent performance too. Like he actually has some fun. I feel you could tell. Other than recently, where it just sounds like he's angry all the time. Well, unless anyone joins us here, I thought Zach was at some point, but whatever. Tato, plugs, the parting words.
Lights out trivia. We got all sorts of shenanigans popping. We got some new world champions in the house. We got exhibitions down the pipeline and movie Battleground. We finally got the machine going a little bit, so look forward to that.
Yeah. Anymore. Plugs, parting words.
What? Oh, you broke up for the first time. The first half of it, I couldn't hear.
No, my bad. Oh yeah, sorry, I totally wasn't shit talking to you. Plugs, parting words.
I figured you were. Yeah, Lights Out Trivia. I am announcing my retirement from that. So I'm done over there because bad things happen. And I'm only performing on CWT from now on. So check me out on CWT. No, actually, I have a... What's that sports thing called? Another match coming up with Nair soon. It's pretty fun. 2-0 in there. Yeah, check me out here, there, everywhere. We should watch WeLC and live stream it right now to make our show longer.
No, we can take it down.
Never mind.
All right, for Brennan, for Tato, for everything, everyone. Well, thanks for watching. If you watch this later, let us know in the comments what you watched, or join us next week. Usually we record around 8 o'clock on a Thursday. And we love you more than you'll ever know. And this is for you, everyone.
You hold it on your side, it's love.